Hey there, good looking. Strengthen and loosen your entire back with this workout. Now, no tools are required. However, I do recommend a mat if you are on a hard surface, as well as a cushion or a foam chipped yoga block. You ready? Let's go get started. Hello there and welcome. I'm PJ from fitnesswithpj.com as well as over50fitness.co. And listen, a couple of things before we get busy. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you click that subscribe button so we can keep training together. And if you are enjoying this ads-free on the Over50 Fitness platform, make sure you head over to our private Facebook group after this and let me know how you and your back felt after this session. All right, let's get started. Starting on all fours. Wrists under shoulders, knees apart underneath the hips. Starting cat and cow. Inhale, allow the low back to sag. The head looks up, shoulder blades come together. Exhale, push the ground away and tuck the tailbone under. Inhale, low back sags. Exhale, push the ground away. This is also a great warm-up drill, warming up all up and down the spine. And then when we coordinate it with our breath, it also puts some mindfulness into the movement. Last two. And make sure you're only going in a range of motion that feels good. And neutral spine. Taking the big toes together, open the knees up, walk the hands forward and have them shoulder width apart so the arms almost look like they're forming the letter V. Sit your bum back for child's pose and then flow by rounding the spine up, dropping the hips down and looking up. Push the ground away, flow, sit rearward again. Good. So take this slow. We're trying to sort of eke out each vertebrae of the spine as we articulate it going forwards and back. Now if this bothers the knees at any time or any of these movements do because we're weight bearing on them, just double up your mat. Two more. Last one. This is these two moves we just did are ones I do every morning as well, just to wake up my back. And back to all fours. Knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. Slowly extend your right leg so that it's level with your ground. And now extend the opposite arm out, thumb pointed up. Now maintain this really strong core and strong in the right arm and left leg while we bring both knee and hand under the belly and then we extend out again and slight pause. We have 8. As we lift the leg up, we're trying to just get level with our ground, not lifting it too high. That could cause that low spine to overarch. This is a low back strengthening movement. And we'll also get your core, your obliques fired up. One more. And release. Let's reset. So wrists under the shoulders. Pull the shoulders back and down, knees under hips. Extend that left leg now, level with your ground. Opposite arm, thumb up, level with your ground. Now bring both in and extend. When we extend, we're holding it out there for breath. Last 3. And 2. One more. Release. Bringing it into a plank because any good back strengthening program will have a plank in it. I want to make this more of a posture plank though. So here's our setup. Elbows under shoulders. Walk your wrists so that they line up with the elbows, so your hands aren't touching. Now we can go from the knees or the toes, totally up to you. Whatever you decide to do, let's lift up and hold. Now take a look. Are those wrists still in line with the shoulders? Or pardon me, with the elbows? And then the elbows are under the shoulders. You're going to feel this a little bit more in your mid-back now. Just breathe. Remember your modification if needed. You can bring onto the knees. We just have one set of planks to do, so hang in there with me. Last 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, release. Onto the stomach. Now, if being on your stomach bothers your low back, you can place a cushion underneath the hips. We're taking it into our posture muscles now, mid-back. And I want you to think of the alphabet here. So let's first tuck the toes under and grip onto the mat. Extend both arms straight up, thumbs pointed out, up. Lift the arms only and lower. So that's the letter I. Now bring the arms out into a V or a Y position. Thumbs still pointed up, lift up, shoulder blades shrug back and down. Now slide the arms so they're lined up with the shoulders so they look like the letter T and lift. Beautiful. Let's go back to that I. Chin tucks in once you've seen me, and it's I, Y, and T. Back up. Keep the feet on the ground. Keep the chest and chin down. We're only moving through the shoulders here and mid-back. Keep flowing through this I, Y, and T at your pace. Our focus, though, as you lift up, is drawing the shoulder blades together, feeling those shoulder blades come down towards the back pocket, lifting the arms as high as you can. 2 more rounds. Thumbs are pointed up the entire time. Last one. And release. Side lying. Doesn't matter which side, we'll do each side. Bring your knees up. Anchor your knees now with that bottom arm. Top hand behind the ear. We're working into your T-spine now, your mid-back. Bring the elbow in. See if you can get that inside of the elbow to touch the ground in front. Now open up that elbow and see if we can get that back shoulder and that back of the arm to hit your mat, and then close it. Now the entire time you're holding on to your legs, anchoring them here so we're not moving through your low back. All the movement's coming from your thoracic spine. 2 more. This is another one I do every day. And release. Other side. So I don't have my back to you, I'm just going to turn over. So anchor the knees, they're close in. Hand behind the ear, see if we can get that elbow to touch the mat in front of you, and then rotate. And see if you can get the back of the arm to hit the ground behind you. You might even get a few pops in your lower lumbar, a little bit of release there. 1 more. I love that. Here we go, on our backs. And FYI, if you are on a computer a lot, that exercise we just did there is your friend. Arms down by your side, feet hip width apart now, and heels are close to the bum. Squeeze the bum and lift the hips up, but don't open and flare the rib cage. I want you to keep the ribs knitted, and then slowly lower. Do it again. This is called a bridge, And it's a really great exercise to strengthen your glutes, which are the powerhouse of your body and will really help in terms of your squat and lunge pattern, and will help with your core so that the stress isn't in your low back. When the bum hits the mat, it immediately goes back up again, so you're keeping constant tension in the glutes. Let's do 4 more. Now on this one, lift the hips up, interlace the hands under your bum, and then walk and pin the shoulders under, and see if we can lift the hips a little higher. So now we're working that posterior chain while we also open up into the chest and shoulders. If interlacing the hands under the bum isn't available to you, do your best. And if you do, I hope you favorite this video and come back to it. Holding on to a small towel underneath you will help. 2 more breaths. And release the shoulders first, then the hands, then lower the back down slowly. Walk the feet so that they're shoulder width apart. Take the arms in a T position, palms facing up. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. Getting range of motion in the hip joint there, stretching into the spine, into the side of the hip. One more each side. Now bring the knees together, feet together, and same thing. So now one foot, is going to be right off of the ground as you bring it side to side. Last 2. Release. Arms down by your side, lift up into that bridge. As we do, reach the right arm up and across on a diagonal and lower down. Left arm, as you bridge, lift up and over on a diagonal. So now we're combining that posterior chain with a T-spine extension rotation. 1 more each side. Last one. And roll over onto your stomach. Arms down by your side, palms facing down. Let's tuck those toes into the ground again. Chin tucks in. Lift the chest and the arms up, trying to bring the hands down towards the feet and lower. Low back extends. Shoulder blades pinch together a bit. Lifting and lowering at a nice, slow, controlled pace while our feet stay on the ground. So as we lift, if you get that those shoulder blades to come together a bit, we not only turn this into a lower back exercise, we also turn it into a posture exercise. So we're using those muscles to pull those shoulder blades together as we lift the chest and the arms up. And once you've seen me, tuck the chin in, get that back of the neck long. 2 more. Last one. And release. If you'd like, you can sit back into child's pose and flex the spine now. So do the opposing movement we just did to balance it out. Forehead to the mat if that feels comfortable to you. Back on your stomach. Final extension move. Extend the arms overhead now, palms facing down. Lift the upper and lower body at the same time. Keep yourself up and now swim the arms and the legs. Don't roll side to side. You're just moving through the hips and the shoulders. Ten more seconds. And release. Sit yourself back into child's pose. Again, knees are apart if you find that your hips are tight. And if you'd like, if you've got that cushion nearby or that yoga block, you can place that to build your ground up to place your forehead on. The arms can be in front or they can be down by your side. And just deep breath in and out. Come on up. Taking the arms in a cross position. So let's start with the right arm on top. And then from here, lying onto our stomach. And then palms are facing up. And we're walking the arms away from us. Getting a stretch in the mid-back. This can be quite intense. So if you need to come out of it or lift yourself up a bit to help you finish it without without cursing me too much, go for it. Now to get out of this, take that right arm and then the left arm. All right. Okay, now the right arm goes under. Left arm goes up and palms up. And then again, walk the hands further away from you to intensify the stretch. We also get a bit of extension in the low back too, so this is kind of nice for the whole spine. But it is definitely releasing the mid-back the most. And release. Left arm, then right arm. Bring the arms in the letter T, palms facing down. Lift your left leg up, bend at the knee, and roll onto that right arm. Drop the foot on the ground behind you, and hold. You're going to feel a stretch in a variety of areas. So first you'll probably feel it in that right arm, front of the shoulder and pec area of that right side. Then you may feel it in that left hip. Two more breaths. If you want more into the chest, you can roll onto that right arm a bit more. And release. Left arm extends. Pick the right leg up and roll onto that left side. And you can push into the ground with that other hand. So when we think about releasing our upper and mid-back, we also need to remember to stretch the front of the body. Quite often tight pecs and tight front shoulder, your anterior deltoid, causes a lot of postural misalignment in the upper back. So this is a great stretch for that. And then we also get the arm, we get that hip here, some mobility into the hip. And release. Come into a seated position, and if you have tight hips, like I do, you might want to sit on a block or a cushion. Just sitting on the edge of it, find comfortable position. Take the right arm and bring it behind, and then lean towards your left and look up a bit. So you're looking up to your right there for a side body stretch. I'm going to be honest with you, this video to release and to strengthen an upper and lower back, I could make it 5 hours long. There's so many different things we could do. So I have a lot of videos on the channel, as well as we have a ton on Over 50 Fitness that help focus different areas. So know that no matter what one you do, you're going to get a really nice variety. And you'll do what the titles say in the workouts as well. Release. Take this arm behind. Let's lean to your right now. Bring that elbow up and then rotate back ever so slightly. And release. Extend your right leg. Bring the other one bent. Rotate towards that bent knee. Bring your hand behind you and lift up nice and tall. So you won't be mirroring me. You've got, about a fist width apart from that foot and straight leg. You're lifting up through the chest and then twisting through the spine. Look over that shoulder as well so we get it into the neck. And that hand is right behind you, right behind that hip to help lift yourself up. Release. Let's do the other side. So leg is straight. Bring that one in. Come around. Sit up tall. Now let's rotate and twist while we bring that hand. Place it right behind the hip to help lift ourselves up. And release into our hip flexors and quad, which have a direct impact, if they're tight, on our low back. So that's why I'm hitting them on this one. Left knee on your block or pillow, right leg in front. Lunge forwards so that you can feel the stretch in that hip flexor. And then you may want to stay here. I'm going to bend this leg and grab onto my foot. So I'm going to get into the quadricep as well as into the hip flexor. Now I'll let you in on a little secret. Even though most videos will say low back stretches, upper back release, in theory, we've got to look at the whole body. The connective tissue works as a whole team. So you really should start by looking at the feet and then working your way up. But the body is not like your car, right? Where you open it up and there's the carburetor, there's the engine, there's where you do the oil. The body really works in unison and synergy. So that's why, for instance, we're stretching hips to hit into the low and mid back area. But really, the hips, we should also be stretching our calf and then working the fascia in our feet. So, like I said, we could be here for 5 hours if I had my way. Let's release that foot. And let's do the other side. So start with the hip flexor stretch. And it's a slight lunge forward, and then you'll tighten that glute back there. Great. And then if you want, you can bend that knee, pick up the foot, and then hold. I'm well aware of how the body works, as I said, synergetically. But I'm always reminded every so often, and the last time I would just kind of slap me upside the head was about 8 years ago. I went to physio because I had tendonitis in my elbow, but it wasn't my elbow. I've told the story before. It was my neck, and it blew me away. And sure enough, once we could fix my neck, I could then rehab my elbow properly. But that just goes to show you that it's not necessarily the actual area. You have to look at the body as a whole, which is kind of cool. And release. All right, final 2 stretches. We're lying down on your back. Left knee to chest, straighten the other leg. Lift the head up, slide the chin in, back the neck is long. And then if you'd like, you can even bring this knee out a bit to clear the rib cage and pull it up towards the armpit a bit more. So it's really important, if you're suffering with any sort of pain, to go see a professional. Go see a physiotherapist. That's what we call them in Canada. They might be called a physical therapist where you live. Or if you've had success in the past with the massage therapy, acupuncture, Chinese medicine, chiropractic care, and get them to help assess, diagnose, and then that will help your road to recovery, because we can't mess around anymore now that we're in our 40s and beyond. It just takes longer to rehab, and the consequences are much harsher if we don't. All right, let's bring this leg straight up now, and I want you to bend your other leg, foot on the ground. Press that left leg straight up now to get into the hamstring. And again, you might be wondering, PJ, why am I stretching my hamstrings when we're supposed to be doing my mid-back? Well, this hamstring group, when it's tight, it can cause a lot of havoc to the low back. And if the low back's unhappy, that's also going to make your mid-back unhappy. And then that could make your shoulder unhappy. All right, I'll be quiet now. I'll allow you to focus on your breath. If you feel the legs start to shake, just let it go a bit. We don't want the shaking when it comes to stretching the hamstring. And release that leg down. Other knee into the chest. And again, you can take it a bit wide and pull it up towards the armpit. And that left leg is straight. And then just relax the rest of the muscles in the body. Maybe close your eyes. Just focus on your breath. Let's bend the left leg, foot on the ground, extend the right one straight up. Find that edge of your stretch for the hamstring where you can feel that muscle getting stretched, but there's no shaking. And release. Insoles of the feet together, knees open up, hands can rest on the belly or down by your side. Relax the shoulders. Relax the muscles of the face. Feel the ground support the back of the head, the shoulders, the sacrum, the edges of your feet. Feel your belly rise under your fingertips. Just do one more scan through the body, releasing any tension you find. And bring both knees to your left side. Right hand on the floor, and use the arms to push yourself up to a seated position. Sitting nice and tall. Good. Now, earlobes over shoulders, shoulders over hips, spine is long, collarbone is lifted. And there you go. Maintain that posture for the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me. Please leave a comment down below. I look forward to reading them. We'll see you next workout. Bye.